Hey guys, still here and welcome back to another Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts video. Before I proceed with the scenario, be advised that you can send in your own scenario through the link down below in the description. Please don't post it in the comment section, that is for just commenting on this video. Today's scenario is by Vincent Rees and it's called Tennōheika Banzai. The situation is as follows. The war has not gone well for Japan, and we are in 1945 in the Pacific Ocean. Their fleet has been driven back, rather than slowly destroyed. You are a Rear Admiral and currently the highest ranking officer in the Navy. The American Gaijin have launched a final assault on Japan, but have foolishly neglected to bring carriers. The Japanese mainland is only 2 hours away. You are the last line of defense. You cannot hope to defeat this overwhelming force alone, but you must instead stall long enough for the mighty Yamato to reach you. Now, I'm going to be playing Japan in 1940. There is a bit of a challenge here. I am outgunned, and I am not so much out-teched, but just overwhelmed by the amount of battleships. The Japanese, my force, gets a modernized Dreadnought, just the one. The Americans get 4 battleships. Now, I do have 4 battle cruisers versus the American 2. I have 4 heavy cruisers versus the Americans 5. And I have 4 light cruisers. Oh, and the Americans also need 4 light cruisers. The Americans also get 6 destroyers. Starting range, 30,000 meters, so at least I have some time to set up and determine how I want to fight this battle. There are some important win conditions here. The win conditions is to sink 2 battleships, 1 battle cruiser, and 3 heavy cruisers. The other win condition is to damage all battleships, battle cruisers, and heavy cruisers. The extent of the damage must be at least 1 significant or critical hit, so the loss of fire control, magazine detonation, loss of engines, or flooding. Defeat conditions: the loss of 1 battleship and 3 battle cruisers. So that would be the majority of my larger firepower. And failure to meet victory parameters within 90 minutes. So I not only have to survive this battle, but I have to do the damage, sink the 2 battleships and 1 battle cruiser and 3 heavies, inside of 90 minutes. Anything else I should know? Well, your designed ship must weigh only 50,000 tons or less. You have unlimited budget. There is, however, another limiting factor, and that is the barrel size. The gun caliber is going to be determining how many barrels I get. If I go for 13-inch barrels, I get 12 guns. If I go all the way up to 17-inch guns, I only get 6 barrels, and I am not permitted the 18-inch guns, simply because, well, why would I need them if the Yamato, or why would I need to wait for Yamato if I already had a Yamato-type broadside of 18-inch guns? So, no 18-inch guns whatsoever. Your fleet has to start rationing ammunition. Begin the match with half your ammunition store. So I'm going to be running with reduced ammunition as well. But the thing is, I can only do that for the battleship. I can only design 1 ship class, and I cannot determine what the other ships are going to have. So we'll just have to make do with the battleship. And, well, hope that the AI is fortunate enough to give me a good battlecruiser design. Something with decently sized guns, and preferably torpedoes. And bulkheads. I really need bulkheads. Now, the modernized Dreadnought. This one is 51,000 tons, so it's already too heavy. So this is pretty much the thing that I'm going to be running with. At a maximum displacement of 50,000 tons. That is a small ship. If the Americans do come in with 4 of those behemoth battleships, then I'm going to have a really sizable challenge on my hands. I fully expect to be losing quite a few ships. So this is not going to be an exercise in just the Japanese kicking out the Americans. This is very much going to mean that I have to pull quite a few tricks and play quite defensively to try and keep my fleet alive. So I'll probably have to invest quite a bit in armor. Maybe not so much in guns. Let's go for super heavy shells, but a reduced complement of it. High TNT. I need stability. I don't need ammo detonations. Radar 2, rangefinder 5, stereoscopic. We're firing at long range. Acoustics. Let's just give me sonar 1 and advanced radio telegraph. Alright. Now, if I go for 15-inch guns, I get 9 barrels. If I go for 16-inch gun, I get 8 barrels. I'm thinking 15-inch guns. And potentially having this fleet just move away. So I would have the main armament on the stern instead of the bow. How about putting 17 inches on the stern? It's going to be an interesting challenge to see if I can balance the ship out. Let's see if I can put another main there. Now we have a pretty heavy front offset. Secondary tower. I could go with the pagoda tower. 60 long range accuracy. Ooh, 51. Hold on a minute. Pagoda tower is far better at long range gunnery. Also takes up a hell of a lot less space. Oh crap, I'm using 17 inch. I'm allowed 6 guns. Not 9. Okay, fine. Center lines, 17, dual. 1, 2, 3. Okay, funnel. I don't... Well, hold on. Oh. There, that helps. Engine efficiency 100%. That's what I wanted. Okay. Now, there was nothing really said about the amount of torpedo tubes that I can use. If I go for electric torpedoes, this might help me. I would have a range of, what is that, 15-ish? 12. I want to be fighting far beyond 12 clicks. If I go for oxygen, I get 50% range. So about, what is that, 18 then? 21. That's more like it. 21 kilometer range torpedoes. It's going to be important to launch these things off of the stern, because I intend to be fully facing away from the threat. Now, I don't really need to make these things exceptionally large. The larger they get, the more damage that they do, and the more speed and range that they get. This would put them at 22.3. I don't think it matters too much about the reload. Now, what about secondary armament? There are destroyers around, but I also have light and heavy cruisers. So I think I might not have to invest too much in light armament. Secondary armament, that is. Maybe some, but I really don't want to have too much on it. It's going to be a sort of last resort. So I could have a couple of 6-inch batteries here. Good fire angle. They can span pretty much the entirety of the ship. 4 weight offset of 0.6. Is there any way that I can balance that out? 0.3. That's the 4 weight offset to 0.3. Here? 0.1. Yeah, I can live with 0.1. Okay, we are fighting at exceptionally long range, or at least that's the plan. I can fire out to a range of 33 kilometers, and especially with the pagoda tower combined with the high-end radar and the high-end stereoscopic rangefinder, I want to keep the ship at range. So deck armor is going to be particularly important here. The problem will lie in not getting the enemy too close with a top speed of 27 knots. They are probably going to continue to close on me, but they won't be doing that very quickly. Let's put the extended belt at 5-inch. Increase the deck extended. 4.5-inch. Something about turret top? No. That's about it. Right, this is not a very heavily armored battleship. This is going to be a tough fight. Let's make it work. Soryu. That's the name of the ship. Win condition. Sink 2 bruisers. Damage all the battleships. In 90 minutes. That's going to be tricky. Alright, hold. Battlecruiser. Yari, Karasawa, Norikura, and Kaimon. 11-inch guns, firing out to 22 kilometers. Lots of them. And torpedoes, ranging at 15 kilometers, with a detection chance of 20%. Okay. That's going to be hard to hit. Heavy cruiser. Kaikoma, Nikoshirane, Kumano, and Mogami. Torpedoes, amidships, 12.6 kilometer range. Guns, 9-inch. Propellant, TNT. Alright, and my lights? Pfft. 2 torpedo tubes, 24-inch, 10 kilometers. It's gonna hit like a truck, but they'll see them coming from a mile away. Torpedo speed 63.5, so that's fast torpedoes with a visibility of plus 38%. Interesting positions for the turret. I would, by the way, say that this... Oh, it's not quite clipping, or is it? Yeah, that seems to be clipping through that structure. That's a bug. Alright, where's the American fleet? Please don't be too big. Okay. They're coming my way. That is probably at least 16-inch batteries and potentially more. Soryu is approaching that group, right? Yes. Alright, Soryu. Turn around. The battle cruisers have their torpedo armament pretty much towards the stern. But they're in separate formations. I got 1 loose battle cruiser and 3 heavies, or 3 battle cruisers here. I'm gonna have those turn to the right. I'm gonna try and catch up to the fleet. So I'm gonna let them close in on me and then launch the torpedoes, hoping to land a few hits or at least knock their formation out. All the light cruisers, for now, they're gonna have to stick with the battleship in a follow formation. The heavy cruisers with their torpedoes can also be relatively valuable, although torpedo range at 12.6 is not stellar. And battlecruiser Yari, I'm also going to tell you to go port. The defeat condition is the loss of 1 battleship and 3 battlecruisers. Now, I'm going to have to play somewhere between risking the ship and keeping the ship alive. The battlecruisers, that is. That's not going to be an easy balance to get. I'm going to have to set my ship to save its shells, because I only have 390 of them. And I'll probably need every single one. Okay, the Americans are already opening up. Considering that they're firing, they're probably packing 18-inch guns, because they would have more range. Or they have a different propellant at 17-inch. Now, fortunately, they probably won't be very accurate at that range. Battlecruisers can do 38 knots. That's an impressive turning circle, though. 879 meters. 560 on the heavy cruisers and 495 on the lights. Soryu, I need you to slow down a bit and start angling away. The Yari is going to take a lot of time getting into range. And so will the other battle cruisers. Now, my torpedoes run for a totality of 15 kilometers. So if I try and go for a cross-torp, I'm going to have to be quite careful not to accidentally land a torpedo on the group that's on the opposite side. So if I approach from, let's say, this position and a torp that way, and at the same time I have the Yari approaching from the port side, or from the left of their formation, actually the right side of their formation like that, and torp the other way, then I could be in trouble. What we're currently seeing is the battleships and potentially the battle cruisers, which are also packing a good amount of torpedoes. They have 2 battle cruisers only. Is that consistent with what I'm seeing? I think so. This is a battleship. That's a battleship. That's... I'm having a pretty hard time distinguishing. Is this a heavy cruiser? What am I looking at? I know the Americans have 4 battleships and 2 battlecruisers and 5 heavies. But what is what? Which is which? 25 clicks, 21 clicks. You with your range of 12.6, you're at 22 clicks. And the lights are still escorting the Soryu. Just slow. Let them catch up. I hope that Yari is going to be able to evade most of the fire by just being a fast target. Don't torpedo yet. I want to tell you exactly when I want those torpedoes in the water. 15.6, sorry, 15.1, 23 inch. Identification is forthcoming. We are building up accuracy on Soryu. That is a sizable American fleet. $18.5. I'm gonna have to do a bit of a risky maneuver. I'm gonna get you closer, drop the torpedoes, and turn away. But I need to be a bit more in front of the formation so that if I miss this ship, I still have a chance to hit the others. The other battle cruisers are at 20.8 kilometers, so they still need to approach 5 kilometers more. And they're opening up with the 11-inch guns at the lead ship here. Fuck, Yari's taking a hit. Now, nothing was said about the loss of the battle, or of the heavy cruisers. Something was said about the loss of the battle cruisers and the battleship, not the heavy cruiser. So I'm going to sort of sacrifice my heavy cruiser. Yari, prepare the torpedo. Lead ship, as of yet unidentified, but definitely American make. The other battle cruisers are at a range of 17.3. They still need a bit more. Heavy cruisers moving at 34.5. Yari is getting a lot of volume of fire thrown her way. Come on, Yari, drop torps and get out. This is very important. Steady course. Torpedoes away. Yari, turn out fast. The other battle cruisers are now in range, if I'm not mistaken. 14.9. Yes, they're in range. Alright. Let's throw a wrench in the works. Turn to starboard. I know I'm opening up broadside. It is a risky move, but it has to be done. Heavy cruisers Mogami, Kumano, and Nikashirane moving closer. Trying to get within torpedo range, which they should now be. Target that warship. Come left. Torpedo when ready. We only have 5 tubes per side, so the damage output for the torpedoes is probably going to be pretty limited. Yari is trying to back away at best speed. We have done 12 damage versus 413 damage that they inflicted. And I think most of that landed on Yari. Mogami, hold your course. Still not seeing a torpedo launch from the Kaiman, Karasawa, and Norikura. I don't know why though. Torpedoes away. Torpedoes away. Norikura, probably not quite in range yet. Or not quite the angle. Now the ships are coming my way. That's fortunate for me. Means that I get a bit more range out of my torpedoes, effectively. Come on, Mogami. Torpedo those ships if you want to live. Now would be a good time. Come on, buddy. Torp him. Torp this ship. Torpedoes away. Incoming torpedoes. That is not going to be a problem for the Megami, but it could very well be for the Kumano. And I have to try and maneuver through that gap. Right there. Alright, we do have a launch from the Nikoshirane. There. Yari, I need you to slow down a bit. The battlecruisers here have all dropped their torps. And they're speeding away from the targets. Alright, Kumano has evaded the torpedoes. Nikoshirane is going to have to make a turn. Detach, Kumano, regroup with heavy cruisers. Yep, there. Nico. No, hard starboard. Rudder right maximum. Dump some speed. This is going to be a problem. Didn't react in time. My bad. Join the fleet. We've inflicted virtually no damage. 57, but they have inflicted 1100 damage with that torpedo landing on my heavy cruiser. I'm hoping that the battle cruisers can land some torpedoes, because we're desperately going to need that. Kaimon, Karasawa, and Norikura seem to be fine so far. We have torpedoes moving into the group now. One group, two groups. I can't quite tell where the torpedoes from the heavy cruisers are. Soryu, status? Soryu is potentially too far away. She's 26 clicks out. Definitely too far away. Alright, Soryu, we're gonna have to turn around and get closer to the fleet. Nikoshirane is doing very poorly. Still struggling with that torpedo hit. Standard bulkheads. Battle cruisers. Standard bulkheads. Karasawa just took a chunk of damage. Flooding hit. From a battle cruiser gun, it appears. Alright, fallout. What? I cannot... The hell? Oh, never mind. I already have the Karasawa detached. But her rudder is stuck. So she cannot turn. I can't have her fall back until that rudder gets repaired. Alright, the Alabama has been fully identified. Let's take a minute to see what they got. 17-inch guns. White powder. That's why they had more range than I did. Coincidence 4 rangefinder, generation 2 radar. But they're winning out completely on just the sheer amount of firepower. We get the battlecruiser Alaska. Heavy cruiser Columbus. Which seems to have been hit by a torpedo. And this was also the launching ship that launched a torpedo and hit one of my heavies. The rest of their ships seem to be unaffected by the torpedoes as of yet. But there are still more on the way. If the ones from the heavy cruisers are still gonna go. This could... Is that a torpedo? No, that's just the wake for the Columbus. Looks like the Alaska is going to be fine as well. 1% chance. I pulled Soryu back way too far. Outside of the torpedoes, I really don't have too many ideas about how to get this massive fleet off of me. Karasawa is still struggling with a rudder. The Yari is doing quite alright. Those torpedoes are going to run long and shouldn't be an issue. I'm not sure what you picked as a ship. Yeah, you picked the battle cruiser. Oh, it's right at the edge of your range. Yeah, I was way too careful with that ship. With Soryu. My one battleship. Couple of torpedoes speeding towards the Truxton. But it seems like she found a big enough gap to go through. And I think that those torpedoes are running at the edge of their operational range already. Columbus sinks due to heavy flooding. 1 kill. That's pretty good news, because those had a good number of torpedoes on them. Excellent. Truxton's fine. Idaho is turning around. Wisconsin found a gap. This might be a... oh. This might be a big enough gap for this cruiser to fit through. We are landing torpedoes here. 8-inch. Hits the stern of the Truxton. And we got a hit on the heavy cruiser here. Los Angeles. Although I'm doubting she's going to go down to that. Doesn't seem critical. West Virginia has detected the enemy torpedoes. Yeah, that one. Shouldn't be that hard to evade for her. Looks like Kurosawa used her used her stock rudder to actually get her own torpedoes away. Cayman. Target West Virginia. Turn to starboard. Yari. Yari's a bit far away now. Too far away. I'm trying to strike a balance between managing my own ships, getting a look at what the enemy's doing, and evading torpedoes. And it's not quite possible to do everything at the same time, as you might have noticed. So sorry if the video is a bit disorganized today, but there is a lot to pay attention to. I'm hoping to sink the West Virginia here before she becomes another one of those torpedo hubs. And their sonar is very good, so that's another reason why I need them going. Light cruisers can be safely ignored. It's 7-inch guns, it's no torpedoes. But those battleships are... oh, hello. Those battleships are problematic. This was possibly a destroyer that was sunk. It hit it for 3,078 damage. That means it did not have a lot of torpedo bulge. And probably was, well, utterly unable to negate any kind of damage. So that was likely a destroyer. Now, I am about 26 minutes in. I have about an hour left. And in that hour, I have to sink 2 battleships. Now, these are big guys. This is 81,000 tons per. So that's 320,000 tons of battleship versus my 50,000 ton Soryu. That's not a lot. That means I have a weight discrepancy of a factor of 6. That's a really big challenge. Let's see, what are these guys firing at? Battle cruisers. Okay. So far, I have done a lot more damage than they have. I'm hoping to keep that up. Cayman, turn. I think the Kurosawa... oh, she has her rudder back. Good. Get out of here. Heavy cruisers? You guys are pretty much reloaded at this point, so you can turn back in. West Virginia is taking some fire, but it's not really that serious yet. Another torpedo volley goes out, potentially to meet Los Angeles. We have the John A. Bowl class destroyer over here. 23-inch torpedoes running at 10 kilometers. Well, we are way beyond that, so that is not a threat. Looks like they're all targeting Cayman at this point. Let's do some maneuvering. Always seems to work for the AI to do some maneuvers. Come on, West Virginia. How heavily are you armored? 10.7 inches on the belt, tops. 30% chance to pen. That's not very good. I'm very much hoping that the torpedoes are going to do some damage. Los Angeles seems to be turning around. I I'm not sure if she spotted these torpedoes or a different set. Hold off on the torpedo launch. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a lot closer. Kurosawa? Kurosawa is now able to disengage. What the Norikura is doing exactly is beyond me. She is still part of the formation with the Kaimon, but she seems to be doing all sorts of other stuff. Have you done any kind of damage? No, nothing. That's pretty bad. Torpedoes against Los Angeles are not looking too good. If I get lucky, I might hit the John. But that's really the only ship that's currently at risk. The battleship Alabama over there seems to be very isolated. Unfortunately, I don't have any DDs that I can use to speed towards the target. Sorry, what's your closest ship? Los Angeles. Oh, Los Angeles did get hit by a torpedo. This time in a different compartment, so she's going to continue to flood. Excellent. Norikura is engaging West Virginia. She has Generation 2 radar, stereoscopic rangefinder 4. Maybe it's time to use the Kaimon to do some more maneuvers. If I could torpedo that battleship, that'd be great. She does have sonar 3 and anti-flood 3, anti-torp 2. Bulkheads? Many. Good luck sinking that. Good luck sinking that. Sorry, I need you to charge in. Not so much charge into the entirety of the enemy fleet, but I do need you a lot closer. Heavy cruisers, focus Los Angeles. Battle cruisers, focus Los Angeles. Ignore the West Virginia for the moment. Because this thing carries torpedoes and quite a few of them. That's a... yeah, quadruple, quintuple, range 21-7. Very dangerous. Oxygen torpedoes. Range 25-3. Target Los Angeles. She should be pretty decent chance to hit. 2.5%. Los Angeles can't be fast. Not with all that water. 24-3 and slowing. Mogami does have Los Angeles in torpedo range. Unfortunately, all the prizes, the battle cruiser and the battleships, are hiding back there. That means I'm going to have to cut my way through the rest of the American fleet just in order to launch torpedoes against those ships. Bit of armor shattering on Los Angeles. We're 10 clicks away from the light cruiser, 10 from the West Virginia, 14 from the battleship, 13 from another. Alright, we're going to make a full turn starboard, increase the range a bit. Norikura still seems to be doing... I don't know what. Torpedo West Virginia. You might as well. She too is one of those torpedo hubs. Alright, Los Angeles seems to be taking good damage now. Still no hits with the 17-inch guns. I'm thinking my battleship's going to be pretty useless. So far I haven't lost a ship, not even the one that got torpedoed. These things can change fairly quickly. Need you to join the heavy cruiser group. The Nico can still do 30 knots. No, 24. Oh, that's still pretty respectable. I can get behind that. I am in torpedo range to get the Los Angeles killed, but I think that the main guns can take care of that. Or at least I'm very much hoping that they can. No, 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 no. Oh god, they're all following in behind the Kokuma. Sorry, Kaikoma. Why? That's a terrible plan. I thought that the Megami was in a pretty decent position. Alright, Kaiman's turning. I'm hoping that her starboard torpedoes are willing to go out against the heavy cruiser there, the West Virginia. Let's detach the Norikura. Get her to turn around as well. There are torpedoes out from Norikura, although West Virginia might have spotted those. Yeah, she did. We did get another torpedo hit on a heavy cruiser all the way over there. Oh, pretty good one as well. That heavy cruiser's almost down. Nice work. So their heavy cruisers are taking severe casualties. The rest of the ships don't seem to care much. Nice cross pattern here. Still got the Yari all the way over here. She's also engaging Los Angeles. She just refuses to sink, apparently. Range 22.6. Can we finish off Northampton, maybe? Using the Yari. She's operating solo on the far edge of the formation here. She does have some support from the heavy cruisers, which are doing their weird formation dance. This is going to be a really long battle and a really long video if I continue at just ×1 or ×2. Los Angeles is on fire. Okay. Norikura, rejoin formation with the Kaimon. Kaimon is in group 2. Means you can go back to your 38 knots. Oh! Ow. Rudder damaged. Fire and flooding. Good hit on Los Angeles. She's also flooding now, and she's on fire. That was finally a hit from the 17-inch. I think it was the first. Yeah, that was the first. She has finally contributed something to the battle, the Soryu, after firing almost half of her ammo complement. Sorry, no, not half. She had a reduced ammo complement. She's on fire again. Still, I think that I might be wasting my time just killing heavy cruisers. They are, however, a pretty big threat because of all the torpedoes. They have to go. Yari, still trying to peck away at the Northampton. Soryu's range. 20 clicks from Los Angeles. Okay. Kurosawa. Yeah, I'm just gonna have her fall back. I don't want this ship in the fight anymore. Because if I lose if I lose one... Hold on. Loss condition, 3 battle cruisers. Maybe I pulled her off the line too early, but so be it. Los Angeles has controlled the flooding. Norikura looks like she just launched another set of torpedoes from her starboard launcher, I think. Kaimon seems just about ready. There you go. Los Angeles is down. Good work. Target now is Northampton. Unless you can find... Oh, the West Virginia. Far closer. Let's hope I can get that thing gone. Slowly dismantling this fleet. Pecking away at the heavy so I can get closer to the big guys. Which, fortunately for me, are not really pushing in yet. If they would be, it would have been a hell of a fight. You're targeting a battleship. Really? Oh! John goes down. 9-inch heavy hit. Good work, heavy cruisers. Good work. Now work away on Northampton. Torpedoes away from Kaikoma. Hold your torps. torpedo range is here, 12.6. So the only thing you could hit is Northampton. Northampton does not seem to want to fight too much. Or she's having trouble getting her guns on target. Yeah, she's having trouble getting her guns on target. Uh-oh. She just launched against a heavy cruiser. Hard to starboard. Have we landed any more hits? Yeah, a whole 2. For a total of 1274. So if they do hit, it hurts. But it's getting those hits, that's the challenge. Kaimon has now also taken some damage. You guys are too far away at current. It's tricky striking a balance between, on the one hand, keeping them safe, and on the other hand, keeping them employed in the fight. Yara is probably still flanking. Yeah, she's just tailing the division. Or tailing the enemy fleet, not the division. Northampton taking some more fire. She has 2 damaged engines and a damaged rudder. What? What happened to you, Canberra? Did you get torpedoed? Yep, you got torpedoed by 2 torps. Good work. Didn't even know we had torps going in that way. Probably still targeting West Virginia, but then running long and instead hitting the other heavy cruiser. Still, mission-wise, I'm nowhere. Although, I have to sink 3 heavy cruisers. No, actually, I'm getting a bit closer to my objective. I have to be sinking heavy cruisers, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But battleships and battle cruisers are a whole different story. So are you still trying to get closer? How about employing the light cruisers in this fight? These guys have 6-inch guns. Excellent weapons against torpedo boats, destroyers. Kaikoma is very close now to the Northampton. 60% chance to hit with our main armament. Chance to pen? 28% only. Not great. Heavily armored heavy cruiser. 10.7 inches of belt armor. That's more than my battleship has. Bloody hell. Now, the Northampton's firing away with everything she has. Is it enough? Soryu opening up again. Just the bow armament. See, this is exactly the position that I did not want to put this ship in, because that stern armament doesn't work. Which means I have 30% of the effective firepower of that ship available. It's pretty much nothing in these conditions. Now, it looks like the Northampton might eat another torpedo. And that should put her down for good. Unless she's able to turn fast enough. I think she just might. Let me guess, your sonar saved you. You saw it coming, and even with a damaged rudder, you were able to get out of the way. Barely, though. Look at that. Looks all the more impressive with the flooding that she's taken. But she survived. We're barely doing any damage against this ship. What about high explosive at this range? Because my chance to, well, to actually pen them is not that good. So just peck away with the high explosive. Hoping that that damage stacks high enough. And we can just overwhelm the damage control parties by setting tons and tons and tons of fires. Seems to be working. Your structural integrity is now dropping. Your chance to pen might go up. Especially with the ricochet angles going down. Yari? Speed up. Leading the charge with the heavy cruisers. Alright, back to high explode, or back to armor piercing. Ricochet chance is now very low. The Kaikoma can get a full broadside. She might do a good killing blow against Northampton. I still have torpedoes available, but I'd rather save those for much bigger fish. Speaking of fish... Kaikoma detected torpedoes, and she chose this exact moment to lose her rudder. What's the origin? West Virginia. Take me home, don't torpedo my ass. Fuck it, I've had it with this heavy cruiser. Kaikoma port launcher. No, she cannot turn her launcher in time. Mogami? This thing just refuses to sink. Soryu's now 12 clicks away from the Northampton. She's joining in with a fight with the 6-inch guns. Alright, hold off. Maybe the Soryu can finish her off. Lots and lots of fire coming in. It's mostly light cruisers now. The battlecruiser Alaska, which has taken severe damage. Truxton, North Dakota, and somewhere over on the horizon, the Alabama. We're still being obstructed from getting a close-in run with those by the light cruiser Huntington and heavy cruiser West Virginia. What else is new? Time to charge in. Northampton's on fire. Yeah, imagine that. I thought that she was on fire quite a while ago. Can I just train the main guns of the Soryu on the heavy cruiser and see if that does anything? Formation's heading away from me. There's a bunch of destroyers in the way. With sonar 3. My chances of landing torpedoes against that group are dreadful. Light cruisers should be arriving. Finally. Northampton sinks. What got you in the end? Aha. A 17-inch shell. 851 damage. Excellent work. Alright, next target. The battle cruiser. The Alaska. Turn to that side. Heavy cruisers, well, they might get sacrificed. We've got some torpedoes coming in from there. Are those... Those cannot be my torps. They must be the torps from the Virginia. New target, West Virginia. Commodore starboard. Where's the Yari? Yari is still lagging behind. What? We get a ping here? This close? That must be a bug. There. There's something 5 clicks out from the Yari, but I really don't think so. That makes no sense. Kaiman and Noikura are still surviving. And still not really being hit whatsoever. Speed things up a little. Soryu, any hits on the battle cruiser, wherever it is? Here it is, Alaska. She's doing 35 knots, or at least she's capable of doing 35 knots. But she's doing 26 effectively. Oh, torpedoes in the water. Some damage against West Virginia, but seriously low. Then again, it is as heavily armored as the other sister ships that she has. The other the other heavy cruisers. And it's just very difficult to sink these guys. I mean, that's a heavy cruiser with more armor than a battleship. Their battleships, however, have 13 inches of armor. So yes, it can be worse. Battlecruiser Idaho over there is in torpedo range, currently. I don't know if these guys can launch and land torpedoes against that ship successfully. If they can, that'd be great, but she does have sonar too. Just that her turning circle's quite high. Just dump them. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, we'll see. Virginia is being slowed down some. Cannot maneuver as quickly as she normally would. Rudder damaged. Yeah, we're now starting to inflict some damage on this ship. Uh-oh, Wisconsin's coming my way. Wait, what? I might have to do a torpedo run for the light cruisers against that battleship. It's going to be a risky venture for them, but they are not mission critical. As tough as that might be for them. Target Wisconsin. Penetration chance is very good with their 17-inch guns. West Virginia taking serious damage now. Cayman's flooding though. That's bad news for me. Oh, we're still not torpedoing? Why? Oh crap! Was that a torpedo that just ran out? It looks a lot like a torpedo. Alright, Cayman, fall out. Norikura, it's gonna be your turn. Soryu, locked onto the main target, the battleship, 12% chance to hit. Light cruiser Suma is coming in first. I want Wisconsin to be torpedoed by Norikura, sorry, Nikushirane and Kumano. Don't envy the jobs of the light cruisers right about now. Where's my stern? Yeah, okay, we still have to turn. West Virginia is slowly but steadily succumbing to all the fire that she's taking. My torpedoes refuse to launch. Alabama's 13 clicks out. What's her speed? 29, so I should be able to catch her. Although it's going to take me a while. Is somebody actively targeting the Huntington? Has to be, but who? Or is that just fire that was meant for West Virginia but sort of flew over the target? No, that seems to be too accurate. Oh crap. Kumano got torped. Shit. Soryu, I need you to turn a bit more. Suma is getting torped. This is not a good time to be changing formation. 10-4. Looks like that battleship is thinking the better of going on the offensive and turning around. What's the status of the North Dakota? 26-6. At least it's not as angled as the other ships are. So I'm hoping that a couple of good broadside hits from Soryu can do some damage on her. 79% chance to pen. 15% chance to hit. Kumano could very well go down. Huntington seems to be in trouble. Secondary armament on the Huntington, primary armament on West Virginia. Kaikoma seems to be falling in behind the rest of the group. So if the damaged Kumano just detach. Ooh, did you also get torpedoed? Yeah. Well, I can't catch everything, no matter what you guys in the comment section say. Let's hope that the light cruisers can do some damage against the DDs. Now the Yari. The Yari is going to be a challenge to maneuver properly because she's going to be fighting both the DDs and the battleship pretty much at the same time. There goes the Nikoshirane. Kumano sinks, heavy flooding, expected. Whatever happened to that battle cruiser? There you are, Alaska. Torpedoes away from Soryu. She's taking some damage. Nothing critical. West Virginia is still in this fight. Not a worry in the world, that ship. Although the flooding's probably not helpful. The light cruiser is still plunging along, pumping out the water, cancelling out the flooding. There you go, that's good damage right there. Soryu has inflicted some decent damage now, 2700. Is that against the Alaska by any chance? Yeah, it very well could be. Oh, nice hits. Flooding on Alaska. Standard bulkheads. Anti-flood 2. She's going to be struggling to fix that. Don't torpedo again until I tell you. Ooh. You just got hit pretty bad. By the battle cruise. No. By the battleship. Hold on, something got torpedoed. Hold for a minute. There's a lot going on. Torpedo. I hit the torpedo launcher. No, I didn't torpedo anything. Nor did I get torpedoed. Mogami. Range to the battleship, 8.9. Alright. Light cruisers are unfortunately still not in a good position to engage. And this is just a hornet's nest. I don't see myself getting to these ships in the next 14 minutes. Because the objective is to get this thing done in 90 minutes. I will not be able to achieve that objective. Because there's just too much left to sink. The Alaska is starting to really struggle to keep the ship afloat. .3 inches of belt armor. Imagine those torpedoes. Yeah, here they are. They're still running. If I can just knock out the battle cruiser using the main guns, then I'd be perfectly happy with that. It's at least another objective ship gone. Because I have to sink 2 battleships, 1 battle cruiser, and 2 heavies. So, that's the battle cruiser. The heavy cruisers are mostly sunk. At least the required ones. And then I still have to sink 2 battleships. Huntington goes down, that's the light cruiser over there. Every heavy cruiser, launch your torpedoes against the Alabama, if you can. Torpedoes away. Launching Mogami. Kaikoma probably doesn't have the right angle yet, and it's only 2 heavy cruisers. That's the challenge. The Rikura is limping away with 3 damaged engines. So far, I think I've been able to save all of my battle cruisers. Somewhat. At this point, I don't really care what you go to torpedo. Alaska sinks due to heavy flooding. Excellent. That's an objective ship. Shit. Soryu. North Dakota. West Virginia, finally. West Virginia sinks. Leaving just the battlecruiser Idaho and the Alabama on this flank. Mogami, we're gonna go right in. You got 20-inch torpedoes. Oh, Raleigh sinks. Okay, we got 20-inch torpedoes on the heavy cruisers. If I can make a run for it, I might just get it done. Fire and flooding on the new? Are you sure you're not missing a second part of that name of that ship? Or is the ship just actually called the new? That's possible. Yari. I think Yari's gonna have to disengage as well. With a damaged rudder. Oh, she could have picked a worse time. North Dakota is taking some serious damage now. So is Soryu, but the Soryu can handle a few hits. Heavy cruisers, do not launch, do not launch. Mogami, charge that battleship. Torpedoes that were headed for the battleship are... where? Here. Light cruiser Sendai is taking some serious damage. I haven't checked in with the light cruisers in a long time. AI managed that. Alright, the Kurosawa's away. Kaiman's away. Yari is disengaging. Trying to. And Norikura is also disengaging. Soryu is now taking a beating. I'll have you disengage a bit. And do what you're good at. Fire at the enemy with your stern guns. Heavy cruisers Mogami and Kakuma. We're going to make a torpedo run. It's going to be very close. Now these guys do have torpedoes, but seemingly only on the bow. Yeah, bow and stern. I need to land as many torpedoes on this thing as possible, because it's only 20-inch. And this is a ship of 80,000 tons. I have to pull quite a few tricks to sink this thing. Flooding. 4 compartments. Kaikuma also launched. That's a lot of torpedoes. How did you launch your port set? How did you do that? That's impressive. Whoa. Oh, that was the return torpedo from the battleship. Lovely. Alabama already has her flooding under control. That is fast. Oof. I don't think the Alabama's going to sink due to this amount of damage. We'll be needing a bit more than that. Hold on, what did I sink now? A destroyer all the way back there. I have 5 minutes left on the scenario. I only had 90 minutes to get this done. There's one more thing that this heavy cruiser can do, and that is the actual Banzai Charge. I can only do about 12 knots with the heavy cruiser. The Alabama can still do 28 knots. She does have 3 damaged engines though. She might start to slow down. Soryu? We're running out of torpedoes here. Oh, sorry, not out of torpedoes, out of main gun armament. Starboard aft launchers. Oh, hello, Idaho. What the hell do you want? The flooding hit on the Mogami. Stay alive. Just long enough. Ram this ship. Do you carry torpedoes? No, you don't. Okay, good. That could have been a pretty nasty surprise for me. Torpedoes are out. And hard to starboard. If I can make a maximum starboard turn, I can still keep the stern guns on the target and potentially launch the torpedoes from the port side against the Idaho. But it's going to have to be the turn of a century. Damn, this video is running long. Problem is, these torpedo tubes are being obstructed by the superstructure. I am going for an unintended ram here. What a mess. What an absolute mess. Still, I gave the Americans a pretty good run for their money. Alabama, despite eating so many torpedoes, is still at 60% buoyancy. What's your speed? 26.8. Megami's speed, 24. She won't catch that battleship. Soryu, seriously damaged by the rams. Structural integrity is down to 1%. Train the guns on the Idaho for one potentially last salvo, as we have 37 seconds left on the scenario. Fire when ready, blow away that battlecruiser. You have to be kidding. Did you just miss? Sorry, you actually missed, didn't you? She was getting hit by the 6-inch, but not by the 7. Oh. That was a greeting from, I think, Alabama. Alright. What about those torpedoes that we sent after the Dakota? North Dakota's already maneuvering away from those. Interestingly, the light cruisers have still survived. But Japan, unfortunately, has not. As I have not completed my objectives. I had to sink 2 battleships, 1 battlecruiser and 3 heavy cruisers. Heavy cruiser objective is done. Battlecruiser thing was done. Sinking 2 battleships turned out to be very difficult. Because it's just a complete mismatch between the damage output and displacement from Soryu and the damage output and displacement from the American battleships. Anyway, interesting scenario. I hope you guys enjoyed that fight. It was a very tough one. If you can do it again, let me know. And if you have a scenario, then by all means submit it through the link down below in the description. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.